Hey, I'm Chaz Marler from Pair of Dice Paradise and BoardGameGeek, and welcome to October 2019's Top 10 Hottest Games, which is based on the titles that are generating the most traffic and discussion on the BoardGameGeek website over the past 30 days. These games are tracked on the site's hottest games list, and the higher and longer a game remains on the list throughout the course of the month, the higher it ranks on the top 10 overall. 176 different games appeared on the list over the past 30 days, including the game in spot number 10, which last appeared on the countdown this time last year. Leaping 20 spots to end the month in the top 10 for the first time in a year is Brass Birmingham, published by Roxley. Brass Birmingham is an economic strategy game sequel to Martin Wallace's 2007 masterpiece, Brass. This Birmingham version tells the story of competing entrepreneurs in Birmingham during the Industrial Revolution between the years of 1770 and 1870, but offers a very different story arc and experience than its predecessor. Birmingham features 3 all-new industry types and a new cell system, and features dynamic scoring canals and rails. And instead of each flipped industry tile giving a static 1 victory point to all connected canals and rails, many industries provide between 0 and 2 victory points. This provides players with the opportunity to score much higher value canals in the first era, and creates interesting strategy with industry placement. As in its predecessor, you must develop, build, and establish your industries and network in an effort to exploit low or high market demands. Dropping down 2 spots to spot number 9 is The Seventh Continent from Serious Pulp. The Seventh Continent takes place in the early 20th century, where you have decided to sail back to a newly discovered seventh continent in order to attempt to lift a terrible curse. The game can be played either as a solo or cooperative choose-your-own-adventure style exploration board game, as you choose a character and begin your adventure on your own or with a team of other explorers. Inspired by the Fighting Fantasy book series, you will discover the extent of this wild new land through a variety of terrain and event cards. In a land fraught with danger and wonders, you'll have to use every ounce of wit and cunning that you have to survive, by crafting tools and weapons and shelter to ensure that very survival. The Seventh Continent will require quite a few hours of exploring and searching to eventually discover just how to remove that curse and win. Or die trying. Remaining in spot number 8 this month is Arkham Horror, the card game, which blurs the lines between traditional role-playing and card game experiences. In the game, you and your friends, or up to 3 friends with 2 core sets, or up to 47 friends with 23 core sets, become characters within the quiet New England town of Arkham. Each of your adventures in Arkham Horror LCG carries you deeper into mystery, where you'll find cultists and foul rituals, you'll find haunted houses and strange creatures, and you just may find signs of the Ancient Ones straining against the barriers of our world to enter it and obliterate it because they're jerks. The basic mode of play in Arkham LCG is not the adventure, but actually the campaign. Now, you may be scarred by your adventures, your sanity may be strained to its limits, and you may alter Arkham's landscape just burning buildings to the ground. All these choices that you make and the actions that you take have consequences that reach far beyond the scenario that you're playing at the moment, and your actions may earn you valuable experiences which you can use to better prepare yourself for the adventures that still lay ahead. Dropping down 1 spot to end the month at number 7 overall is Root by Leader Games. Root is a game of adventure and war in which the nefarious Marquita Cat has seized the Great Woodland, intent on harvesting its riches. Under her rule, the many creatures of the forest have banded together to fight back. This alliance will seek to strengthen its resources and subvert the rule of cats. In this effort, they will also enlist the help of the wandering vagabonds who are able to move through the more dangerous woodland paths. Though some out there may sympathize with the Alliance's hopes and dreams, these wanderers are old enough to remember the great birds of prey who once controlled the woods. Root represents Leader Games' next step in their quest for truly asymmetric game design. Like Vast, the Crystal Caverns, each player in Root has a unique capability and a different victory condition. But the difference with Root being that while it is designed to be truly asymmetric, it's also designed to be even more accessible than its predecessors. Climbing 18 spots to make its debut on the top 10 is Barrage by Cranio Creations. Barrage is a resource management strategic game in which players compete to build majestic dams, increase their storing capacity, and deliver energy through pressure tunnels connected to the energy turbines of their powerhouses. Each player represents one of the 4 international companies who are gathering machinery, innovative patents, and brilliant engineers to claim the best locations to collect and exploit the water of a contested alpine region crossed by rivers. Whew! Barrage includes 2 innovative and challenging mechanisms. Over 5 rounds, the players must fulfill power requirements represented by a common competitive power track and meet specific requests of personal contracts. At the same time, by placing a limited number of engineers, they attempt to enhance their machinery to acquire new and more efficient construction actions and to build and activate special unique effect buildings to forward their own developing strategy. Slipping a spot this month to number 5 is Terraforming Mars, published by Stronghold Games. In the 2400s, mankind begins to terraform the planet Mars. Good job. Giant corporations, sponsored by the world government on Earth, initiate huge projects to raise the temperature, the oxygen level, and the ocean coverage until the environment is habitable. In Terraforming Mars, you play one of these corporations and work together in the terraforming process. But you're also competing for victory points, which are awarded not only for your contribution to the terraforming, but also for advancing human infrastructure throughout the solar system and doing other commendable things along the way. Then, when 3 global parameters, temperature, oxygen, ocean, have all reached their goal, the terraforming process is complete and the game ends after that generation. And then, players will count their terraforming rating and their victory points to determine the winning corporation. Retreating back 3 spaces from number 1 to 4 this month is Gloomhaven by Cephalofair Games. In Gloomhaven, players take on the role of a wandering adventurer with their own special set of skills and their own reasons for traveling this dark corner of the world, and then they must work together out of necessity to clear out menacing dungeons and forgotten ruins. In the process, they will also enhance their abilities with experience and loot, discover new locations to explore and plunder, and expand an ever-branching story fueled by the decisions that they make. Each turn, a player chooses 2 cards to play out of their hand. The number on the top card determines their initiative for the round, and then, when the player's turn comes, they determine whether to use the top power of one card and the bottom power of the other, or vice versa. Players must be careful though, because over time they will permanently lose cards from their hands. And if they take too long to clear a dungeon, they may end up exhausted and forced to retreat. Staying perched at number 3 again this month is Wingspan by Stonemaier Games. Wingspan is a competitive, medium-weight, card-driven engine-building game in which you and your fellow players are bird enthusiasts, researchers, bird watchers, ornithologists, collectors, each seeking to discover and attract the best birds to your network of wildlife preserves. Each bird extends a chain of powerful actions that you have available in your habitats, and the winner is the player with the most points after 4 rounds. Retaining its orbit around spot number 2 again this month is Black Angel by Pearl Games. In this game, the Black Angel, the first intergalactic planetary frigate in history, must transport the genetic heritage of humanity beyond known worlds over a journey that is likely to last several thousand years. And to do this, the ship's crew will be composed only of robots. And because no nation on Earth is willing to trust the creation of the artificial intelligence that will control this crew to any other nation, a compromise is made. The Black Angel will be co-managed by several artificial intelligences. And then, at the completion of this long and perilous voyage, when a new inhabitable planet has been reached, the AI that has done the best job managing its precious cargo will be the one that is entrusted with reawakening humanity and overseeing its new start. And climbing up 4 spots to end the month at number 1 is Tapestry by Stonemaier Games. Tapestry is a 2-hour civilization game for 1 to 5 players designed by Jamie Stegmaier. In the game, players will compete to create civilizations with the most storied history, starting at the beginning of humankind and reaching into the future, when they will probably eventually build frigates to travel to the stars and use AI to transplant humanity. But that is tomorrow. Today, we're focusing on the paths that they will choose, which will vary greatly from real-world events or people, making each civilization unique. In Tapestry, players make advancements on 4 different tracks: science, technology, exploration, and military to gain progressively better benefits for their civilization. And these civilizations can choose to either focus on a specific track or take a more balanced approach by divvying up their resources among multiple tracks. Along the way, players will also improve their income, build their capital city, leverage asymmetric abilities, earn victory points, and gain tapestry cards that will tell the story of their unique civilization. And there you have it, your list of the top 10 most popular board games as of October 2019. For more board game countdowns, news, previews, and playthroughs, be sure to subscribe and turn on the little notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the videos that are posted on this channel. Until then, though, I've been Chaz Marler from Pair of Dice Paradise and BoardGameGeek. Take care.